May the seven keep you.
Me.
Another piece of trash? You for a while.
Have mercy on your soul!
You see a shady-looking figure fishing coins of gold out of the... So absorbed is he in his coin hoarding that at first he doesn't notice your presence. The instant you mention your title, the man's eyes go wide. He ostentatiously...
You can't speak. Tell truth now. You really a sorcerer?
Excitedly, the man turns over the scrap and pens a few more lines.
Name's Wargraf. I admire you. No hero like
Wargraf nods enthusiastically and pulls a couple of ripped parchment.
Been mute since I was a kid. Sorcerers took my voice. Get money, food where I can. Steal if I must. Not from poor folks. I'm a good sneak, good fighter, good with locks. See things you don't. Want to help you. I'm useful.
Wargraf notices there's no room left in your party.
Decent dugongs, you nearly startled me. But what'll you do if the feline menace chooses this very moment to launch its offensive?
Wargraf looks at you. Wargraf nods enthusiastically and pulls...
Been mute since I was a kid. Sorcerer, get money, food where I can. Steal if I must. Want to help you. I'm useful. Want a cat.
Wargraf eagerly catches your gaze with the best puppy eyes imitation.
I could use someone with you.
Be welcome, Wargraf.
Wargraf smiles and shakes your hand in thanks. With a...
my dry shirt!
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many teeth.
You call to Walgraf. He awaits. Walgraf gives a curt, disgruntled nod, and with a gesture that suggests the drinking out of a mug of ale, he
Tell me, Alistair. Dancing dugongs, you nearly start. Onward, sword to his end.
Fortune! Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to anciently.
Yours for a scrap of gold.
I've got my eyes on the prize.
Careful! I've spotted a trap. Soaked to the skin. A stitch in time, eh, my friends? Sweet relief.
Ho! Our enemies have laid a trap.
Careful! I've spotted a trap. Our enemies have laid a trap. Venom churns within me!
is unbearable.
What a deluge.
Careful. I've spotted a trap. Ready to advance, ready to defend. What can I do?
Well, what's this I've spotted?
As many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Let's see. Halibut.
Hello, proportionate one. I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no?
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapors?
Hose to the slice of this fine corpo then.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Join the Stud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. No excuses for holes to the slice of this fine corpo then.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Cyseal's ever seen.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew 'em, spice 'em, stir and churn.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew 'em, spice 'em, stir and churn.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Ah, gracious dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew 'em, spice 'em, stir and churn.
Not in the mood for cheese.
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapors?
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. Big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
I bet Tim Fred's been strung up by his ears by now. Sauce hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night. Now that the herd's gone, old Birchie's just scratching by like a hen till the next batch of beasties comes through. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced.
Cyseal's ever seen.
Not in the mood for cheese. And excuses more holes than a slice of this fine Norman bacon.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Ain't straight, ain't true. Harry's by the peasants.
Ogre, you're rotten to the bone. Oh, me poor, sweet, plump girl. That louse. Did he even bother grilling a single luscious chop? I bet he wasted every last morsel. Captain Aureus will have a thing or two to say about...
This is intolerable. The momentum of time is slipping through our hands, and you fritter it away on conversations about decomposing mutton. Focus, Source Hunter, focus!
Fantastic!
Today, I think, a king. The great
My word!
By the seven.
You there! Sit! Stay a while! Right in front! Don't pity me! No, sir! Just a few years ago, I was the all-singing when Reginald came. He brought some fantastic prop with him. It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that. And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has a... I don't know how he inspires such loyalty. Showman, show all of them. Cyseal, what you're made of. Pardon beer and flatulence.
My word!
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that...
You there! Take a seat! Prepare to laugh your head off! What a generous spectator! Find a seat in the front, eh? Ha! Yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hacks simply... Enter Reginald the Illusionist! We need our boys in red happy, relaxed, and ready to fight! I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most amazing artifact in Andevale. This fantastical talking head. Why do I care what tall tales you've heard about Stefan's origins? Try to do something about it, if you dare. The fair's full of legionnaires who love no better entertainment than cutting down a source hunter for stirring up trouble.
He's right, you know. We can hardly walk off with a talking head in the middle of a crowded fair.
We'll just have to think of something more clever than daylight robbery.
And see the amazing singing Stefan!
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, now help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I...
My word! Tricks are for kids! This here is the greatest... Back for more, I see! Well, why do I care what tall tales you've...
Fantastic! By the seven!
Zombie ate your dog? Well, I've an open stage in want of talent. The theatre's favour has overcome you, has it? Check the library and see if any of the classics... Right away, my dear, just as speak to Master
Apart from beer and flatulence. And who are you supposed to be? Katarina's? Tell me when you're ready to begin, and I'll show you to your places and gather you ready for your trial by fire, you mean? There's not planning on playing to an empty audience,
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated. Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, the stage is yours. The crowd seems to know the tale. They wholly approve of your beginning.
Simply marvellous!
The crowd is thrilled. Whatever will happen next is sure to excite them.
Show! Oh, I hope there's an encore!
The crowd seem quite impressed with your delivery. Keep it up.
Simply marvellous!
The crowd gasps. They're on the edge of their seats. Go on. Push them over.
Simply marvellous!
Gasps ring out across the audience. They must know how it ends. They simply must. The crowd explodes into applause and appreciation. You've woven them a tale of desperation and hope, and they are alive with the thrill of it.
That was really something else. I'll never forget it.
That was really something else. I'll never forget it.
You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Ah, a familiar face. Come. Ah, a familiar face. Come, watch the show. It seems even my... And even when they're... I don't know.
Don't pity me. When Reginald came...
Ah, a familiar face. Come.
Fantastic! Bravo! Bravo!
Showman!
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elbuck, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd
Back
the...
for more, I see. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Why do I care what taught?
Did he crave creamy blues and gory reds? That he ordered a contest must
Come
properly
on! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
Today, I think, a king. Great Sigurd and his rainbow...
You there! You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Fantastic!
Performers, showmen, show all of the... Cyseal, what you're made of. Apart from beer and flatulence. Performers, showmen, show all of the... Cyseal, what you're made of. Apart from beer and flatulence.
Have some pity.
You there! You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut. Performers, showmen, show all of the... Cyseal, what you're made of. Pardon beer and flatulence. Performers, showmen, show all of the... Cyseal, what you're made of. Apart from beer and flatulence. What is it this time? Oh, here we go. Not planning on playing...
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity. As a few more moments and the crowd will be all settled.
Fantastic!
A few more moments and the crowd will be all settled.
By the seven!
The stage is yours.
Fantastic!
The crowd breaks into an approving chuckle. Continue, by all means.
Bravo! Bravo!
Eager to hear more, the crowd leans forward with great interest. One lady in the back is already chuckling. She must have heard this one before. The crowd's curiosity is piqued. Oh, do go on before they explode.
Good show!
My word!
That's it, Source Hunter. You've got this joyful crowd right where you want them. Now, take them on home. They like you. They really, really like you. Well done, Source Hunter.
Oh! Bravo! Yeehaw! Fantastic!
Performers, showmen, show all of the...
entertainment.
Cyseal, what you're made of. Apart from beer and flatulence.
I haven't seen a show like that in years. I'm all a quiver.
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut. What is it this time? Well, I must say that was... well, bravo! Bravo! Well, I'm certainly not afraid of admitting when I'm wrong. That was, well, near Katerina's. Given the... Tell me when you're ready to begin. Oh, here we go. Not planning on playing to an empty audience, are you?
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated.
By the seven! What a tale! Fantastic!
My word!
Fantastic!
If I wanted to wait around doing nothing, I'll get a job
The
at
stage is yours.
Oh, come on, we haven't got...
The crowd seems to know the tale. They wholly approve of your beginning.
Simply marvellous!
The crowd is thrilled. Whatever will happen next is sure to excite them. The crowd seem quite impressed with your delivery. Keep it up. The crowd gasps. They're on the edge of their seats. Go on. Push them over. Gasps ring out across the audience. They must know how it... The crowd explodes.
That was really something else. I'll never forget it. Come on! Come on! Catch it! Hear the stage calling you! What is it this time? Oh, here we go. Not planning on playing...
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated. Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, that is. The stage is yours.
Fantastic! Bravo! Bravo!
The crowd is completely appalled by your retelling. Are you sure that's how the story goes?
You there?
You call yourself
What
an
is it this time? Oh, here we go. Not planning on playing...
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small... Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, that is. The stage is yours. The crowd seems to know the tale. They wholly approve of your beginning.
There's an encore!
The crowd is thrilled. Whatever will happen next is sure to excite them.
Fantastic!
Bravo!
Simply marvellous!
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
The crowd seem quite impressed with your delivery. Keep it up. The crowd gasps. They're on the edge of their seats. Gasps ring out across the audience. They must know how it ends. The crowd explodes.
Ah, a familiar face. Don't pity. When Reginald came, it seems even my usually, and even when there's no crowd to speak of, already, I don't know how he...
Future of entertainment!
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Cyseal, what you're made of. Dear flatulence. Ah, cruel fortune. Come on! Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
Fantastic!
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look, there stands the world famous... Oh, I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show I've ever seen. I'm amazed and astounded that for a meagre gold coin or two, I could... Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be known, and he slips me a few gold coins in return. My voice happens to carry pretty far. Cyseal hears me. Cyseal wants to see what the fuss is all about. And let me tell you, this amazing show just can't be beat. Well, drawing a crowd's what I do best, and I'd be glad to do it for your little show. 98, 99, 100. Looks like all's in order, Chief.
It is said, and this I have heard from a...
My word!
Come on! What is it this time? Oh, not planning on...
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated. The stage is yours.
Simply marvellous!
The crowd seems to know the tale. They wholly approve of your beginning.
There's an encore!
The crowd is thrilled. Whatever will happen next is sure to excite them. The crowd seem quite impressed with your delivery. Keep it up. The crowd gasps. They're on the edge of their seats. Go on. Push them over. Gasps ring out across the audience. They must know how it... The crowd explodes.
You there! You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut. Took my breath away.
Today, I think, a king. The great... Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. It won't be the...
That was really something else. I'll never forget it.
That was really something else. I'll never forget it. Took my breath away, it did.
I haven't seen a show like that in years. I'm all a quiver.
I needed that.
Sweet relief.
A little privacy at last. Out of earshot of that contemptible jester. We can finally speak freely. Where shall we begin? My true name is Nick. In life, I was an entertainer aboard the ship of the famed Pontius Pirate. I once dared to defy him and he savagely beheaded me for the attempt. Little did I know the abuse was only beginning. A wandering sorcerer, mad as the day is long, found my severed head on the beach and resurrected me. I spent months in his company listening to him. When I asked him to return my head to my body, it must be in the Black Cove still, he became enraged and tossed my head into the sea. Reginald stumbled upon me some days later and consigned me into his horrid little show. I know not how long I've been entertaining slack-jawed imbeciles at the Cyseal fair. All I know is I just can't take it anymore. That charlatan doesn't have a lick of his own talent, so he begs, borrows and beats it from those of us with a real vision for the stage. What I wouldn't give to give old Reggie a swift kick in the jugglers. Oh, to have legs again. More than anything. But the chances are so slim with the Black Cove utterly infested with Pontius's undead cronies. My poor lost body is among them, sightless and silent in their vile company. For all I know, they're using it as a traveller. If there were any way you would brave the cove's depths and reunite me with myself, you'd be doing me the only kindness I'd have received. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered.
The body stirs. The subtle slouch in its decayed shoulders suggest intense longing. A large, soggy chunk of flesh falls to the ship's floor with a melancholy... So this is what's to become of me, it seems to moan. A body with no head. A ship with no captain. Nick's body grows cold, then hot. Could it be? After all this time? Reunited? Could it be real? Could it be true?
Toes? Legs? Arms? Fingers? A bit more rotten than when I last saw them, but who am I to look a gift self in the mouth? Oh, the feeling of air in my minimally perforated lungs. Of, well, not quite blood, but lovely ooze pumping through my only moderately decayed veins. What a joy it is, my friend. What an absolute joy. Now for my last unfinished business. Pontius Pirate, the animal who consigned me to the peanut-crunching masses. I won't rest until his skull cracks beneath my foot. Dead? Dead, and dead for good? Never to rise again? Well, I would have loved to see him collapse to dust myself, but your assurance is most satisfactory. With my head back on my shoulders and my foes defeated, I owe you a large debt of gratitude, my friend. Here is my pledge to you, then. Your enemies from now and forevermore shall be as my own. Call me when you will, where you will. I'm dying to try out my right hook, now that I've got arms again after all. Until we meet again, Source Hunter, I remain your humble bodyguard, eager for your...
It was Source that drove Pontius mad, yet it is Source that has kept Nick alive to fight his old foe.
Nick may now be our ally, but make no mistake. He'd be better off dead than perverted into unlife by Source.
Perhaps he'll find some peace fighting with us against the power...
The body stuff. So this is Nick's body.
Toes? Oh, now for my last undead. Well, with my head here is my undying until we...
It was Sauce that drove Pontius mad, yet it is Sauce that has kept Nick alive to fight his old foe.
Though we are sworn to eliminate it, there is more to Sauce than simple evil.
Despite any silver linings, Sauce...
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Is that why we never sail to Ythel anymore?
Curse the gods. Is it so difficult to find a day of labor?
Ask the source hunter. Go on.
I wouldn't let all win 500 yards of I love in nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joy?
Curse the gods. Is it so difficult to find a day of labour?
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
You there! Where can a few honest sailors find a living wage around here?
Speaking of youthful gore,
Oh, a source hunter. Who better to ask?
I wouldn't let all win 500 yards of I love in nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back. Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up. mood for cheese? That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Northern.
What are ye staring at? Some poor chaps lost their ship and want some work. Just send 'em to me and tell 'em there's a bit of coin and a lot of rum coming their way. Captain Jack's the name, though the title may be a little generous at the moment. My crew ran off. Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mines, and they abandoned ship like the lily-livered.
To the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows. Fresh haddock.
Good on you. These boss men respect confidence, you know. So what did he say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all win 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever heard about the time...
Have you found us a job yet? What so? Any...
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
We should tell them that Captain Jack in the marketplace needs a crew to help load his ship. It's good, honest work.
Anyone can load some crates. These men crave adventure, and I crave their earnings.
These men are no adventurers. If we let them in the Fabulous Five, they could hurt themselves. Or us. And I won't be watching your back.
A sailor's livelihood can be snatched away from him by a heavy storm. An adventurer's work never ends. We'll be setting them up with a secure future.
Don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the lizard councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sailed the Yucca floor anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all win 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing...
No, we'll do as I say.
So, a captain's offering booze and brass for a bit of crate loading?
Must we truly waste precious time providing seamen with new situations? Each sifting grain of sand in the hourglass is another warning. Act now or open the doors to death.
I need a moment to reflect.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the lizard councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sailed the Yucca floor anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all win 500 yards of my loving nature.
You know the story. Psst. Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
It does feel quite good to give of oneself to those in need.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the lizard councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sailed the Yucca floor anymore?
All this talk of giving...
Youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all win 500
By
yards.
Parbatha's silver talons must we linger so? An idle brain is a demon's workshop, hunter.
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
I can tell you if you wish, but you'd have to listen to the tale of my life, because my future, such as it is rooted deeply into my history. By all means, if you're in the mood for such a dark tale. Once upon a time, I was a king in a land of beauty to the east. A land of tigers and slender towers, of deserts and forests, of sun and all the world's wealth.
He drove it straight to the pub and back.
I was a young king, handsome and all-powerful. Every nobleman would have killed his own brother if I promised to take his daughter's hand in marriage. But I refused their incessant implorations. I knew my life as a sovereign would be self-indulgent, but also a self-delusory one, if I weren't to marry for love. And so a handful of years went by. The king's throne I myself occupied, whereas the queen's throne remained empty but for the court's cats that would nap the afternoons away upon its velvet cushions. But then one day, a young woman visited my kingdom. She was a poetess and a storyteller. People flocked to her, listened to her every word as if receiving Hiraka. How I miss her still. Miss the brilliance of her mind that was both as sparkling and as... Oh, and how I miss her body. 1,000 artists I could have commanded, show me beauty. But she would have effortlessly surpassed their every and yet, true happiness. That commodity more precious and even more fleeting than the dominion of kings, sang to us like the nightingale, only to depart come the dawn of our first. It was an unparalleled horror. Scores of physicians flocked to my bedside. They traveled from realms across the seas hoping to cure the mighty Jehan, undo the gloom that had befallen the land, and mere vultures that they were, to be paid handsomely for their efforts. But none of their potions took effect. Their salves seared, but did not soothe my fading flesh. Like a ghoul I looked, unburied yet risen from the grave. In futile anger I struck my mirror, but broke my brittle fingers only, not its ever-mocking That, Hunter, is a tale for later. I realize I haven't answered your initial question yet. Why it is that I chase time like a lioness its prey. So I shall.
Why we never sailed the Yuthel anymore?
And so let the hunt continue.
Really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
Who would have thought it? Jehan, an all-powerful king, stricken by a horrid plague, the memory of which plagues him still.
Joyride.
No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sailed the Yuthel anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves
No
him.
wonder. From the sound of it, he was at death's door.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Fethel's carriage for the joyride?
Still, for someone in...
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sailed the Yuthel anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
Who would have thought it? Jehan, an all-powerful king, stricken by a horrid plague, the memory of which plagues him still.
He's all right now, isn't he? Methinks I spy a hypochondriac.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Have a little sympathy.
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc win 500 yards.
Hello there! Welcome to so. I thought the old gal's fate was sealed. weapons. Away! And why'd you be needing that information, small bones? So? Oh, what a fool I am. No, it wouldn't do for an orc. The gravesite would have some.
That shovel has proven worth its weight, it seems.
And I would have done so more quickly if someone weren't hovering over my shoulder like a nosy aunt.
Some of us wouldn't have to hover if others of us weren't prone to...
Ho! Our enemies have laid a trap.
Away with your weapons! Away! Leave humble orc is here, just in front of our noses. Oh, dear old Oggy Woggy.
I've spotted something. I've spotted something.
Away with your weapons!
Rest in peace, darling.
My kingdom for a dry chirp.